Turtle. All right, I guess that's just not working. So, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So, excuse me one sec. Do you guys hear that thing in the background there? Dun, dun, dun. What the fuck is that? You guys hear that? Like a metronome almost? What the hell? Okay, I still have no idea why that does that or whatever. And yeah, anyway, I have gone ahead, guys, and I've shared this link on the Clarence Woods Emerson page. I'm right now sharing it on, I think I'm sharing it on the Uncle Turtleboy page. Like both of those pages, if you haven't done already. That's really fucking annoying. I got to stop that. I'm trying to use a different recording device, but that's just not happening. I got to work with that some more. Okie dokie. So anyway, it looks like we got a good audience so far. That's nice. Why don't you guys go ahead and share that up for me and like those posts if you haven't already. Make sure you're following those pages too. Remember, Clarence Woods Emerson on Facebook and the Uncle Turtleboy page on Facebook. Also on Facebook, there's a Turtleboy Sports group. I don't run that group. I'm not affiliated with it. It's got like 12,000 followers, though. It's pretty good. We got some mods in there. They share all the content. It's all good. It's just like the old days. But I'm telling you guys, I don't want to jinx anything. I'm not going to jinx it, but we've had very few problems with Facebook in the year 2020. Since 𝗕𝗶𝘃𝗲 left, I feel like that was the good luck charm. We've had almost no problems with Facebook. So, but of course, now, of course, is the time when those pages are growing like they used to, even though like for the first time they're not in danger of being taken down. So you might want to go ahead and just give those pages a like, because I don't think they're going anywhere. I think we're good. We'll see what happens. Anyway, on that topic, also follow me on Twitter. I can't suck dick for Twitter followers around here. Last time I was on Twitter, everybody knows my history with Twitter around here, right? I had like 15,000 followers until it was taken down in 2017. Made a couple new pages, built them up to like, you know, almost 10,000 twice, both removed. Then I was banned for like 2 years. I couldn't even create new accounts. Then I got this new computer in May. I made a new account called @RealTurtleboy. That one lasted about 4 months, but I built it up to like 7,000 followers in 4 months, which is not bad. It got 𝗬𝗏 or whatever. Then I got, like, I just used Firefox now to make another Twitter account because they track your browser, your web browser, not your actual computer. And then I got on there through the web browser, Firefox, and I've been on there for like 3.5 months, and I've only got like 3,200 followers. So I can't suck dick for followers on that. I don't know what is it. So I don't know if people just quit Twitter or what, because Trump's gone. I hope that's the reason why. But maybe I've lost my touch. I don't know. Follow me on there. I got like 3,200 followers. I also made a new account on my phone. I know it's like hard. You guys got to make like a Excel spreadsheet where to find me. On my phone, you get my Twitter account is @TurtleboyPhone. That's pretty easy. The other one's called @TB_Aidan. That's @TB_AIDAN. And I talk about things on Twitter that I don't normally talk about on Facebook. Facebook, I just try to stick to, like, you know, occasionally throwing something out there about coronavirus, but mostly I just share the blogs. Whereas on Twitter, you get a lot more of my political takes on Twitter, hot takes, etc. So get at me on there. I like both. And I refuse to just, people are like, why do you use these tech platforms if they're all, you know, if they're all a bunch of, you know, liberal douchebags? It's like, because I want to, period. And I have a right to be, and I'm going to be there. And the fact that they want to kick me out kind of makes me want to be on there even more. It does. I hate to say it. If they didn't want me off so bad, I wouldn't want to be on so bad. But I think Parler is going to be coming back. I was really growing on Parler pretty good. I had like 3,800 followers on there. It was looking good. And when Parler comes back, and it is going to come back, they got some Russian hosting. It's pretty sweet. Of course, the people that tried to silence Parler, which doesn't publish anything of its own. It's just a platform that existed that other people could publish stuff on and write stuff on. Congress wants Parler investigated because the owner of Parler is married to a Russian woman, Russian-American woman. Very xenophobic of them. They're just so racist and xenophobic, and they want nothing more than to crush free speech in the name of, like, Russia, Russia, Russia. That's all these people care about. They're thugs, they're assholes, and they are tyrants, and we're stuck with them for the next 4 years, which is why you need to join the new resistance, the new Turtleboy resistance, because it really begins right here, folks. All right? Okie dokie. So, I forgot anything? think we're good. All right. So without further ado, let's get this party started. All right. So as you guys know, I've had a number of bloggers over the years. I've hired bloggers, and I've been doing this. So like when I first started, I was doing solo, but then I'd bring guys on. I had like Brockton Turtleboy and stuff on at first. For the last, I don't know, been about a year now almost. It's just been me. Just me. For a while there, it was me and 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗲. But like 2017, 2018, those were my heydays. Like I had North Shore Turtle Babe, South Shore Turtle Girl, Merrimack. There was a few others in there that people. There was a Providence Turtle Boy in there for a bit. There was there's some other ones. There was like Blackstone Turtle. I can't even keep track. There was a bunch. There's a bunch. 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃, SJW on it. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. And the reason I did that is because I don't. After the 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗃 thing, particularly, first of all, I couldn't pay people what they deserved to be paid because I was getting demonetized and shit. But the 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗃 thing definitely affected the Turtleboy trust factor. Like I let a Trojan Ratchet in, and she spread her ratchetness everywhere. And that's not good. And we didn't like that. And normally I don't read the blogs they publish. Once I have like a trust with the person, like, usually I'll read like the first 10 blogs they write, right? I critique them, give them hints. And then after a while, I begin to trust them. And I don't even read their blogs, really. I don't have time to read all the blogs. Like the 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗏 blogs, I didn't even read those blogs. I didn't realize how good they were until later on. So my point here is that, like, if there might be some stuff published on my website that I don't even know about, that I don't approve of, that I'm quite frankly embarrassed of, but in fairness, that's what a platform is, right? If we're going to be arguing that Turtleboy should have Section 230 protection, that I'm a platform, not a publisher, then I got to say, hey, other people publish shit. I can't control what other people publish. However, like Facebook and Twitter, which have Section 230 immunity as platforms, but also get to make editorial decisions about what gets to come up and, what comes down, what stays up, what comes down. I also have that right to decide what goes up and what comes down. And I was alerted the other day. You guys know when people message me and they want a blog taken down, right? Like a blog from years ago that they've changed. Usually it's like drug addicts that, they're no longer junkies. And they're like, I'm trying to start my life. That was a really bad phase I went through. I'm doing better, blah, blah, blah. I usually don't even ask for proof. Like if you're genuine and you seem genuine about it, like, of course I'm going to take it down. Like, I'm not a dickhead. I have a heart. I'm not an asshole. I'm not the mainstream media. I'm not going to shame you forever. Although I was going to do a blog on this. I never got around to it. The Boston Globe. I tweeted this out. This is why you guys should follow me on Twitter. I put shit on Twitter that I don't put anywhere else. The Boston Globe posted something the other day in the newspaper. Let me read it to you. It says, the Boston Globe is launching their Fresh Start initiative. People can apply to have past coverage about them reviewed. Similar to a right to forget programs that have cropped up across the country, the undertaking is meant to address the lasting impact that stories about past embarrassments, mistakes, or minor crimes forever online can have on a person's life. That's interesting that they're doing this. And I don't necessarily disagree with them about this, right? My worry is that the Boston Globe will use this new thing to protect, people like Monica Cannon Grant or what, they've never criticized her, but somebody they've criticized in the past. Basically, I don't trust them. I don't trust their judgment in this. Now, if you look up Turtleboy online, right? They always bring up the Clive Mcfarlane article, right? But that article is bullshit. It's filled with lies. It's nonsense. And I would like to point this out. Clive Mcfarlane, who first outed Turtleboy in 2014 for the Telegram Gazette, who's since been fired, by the way. He wrote 2 very positive columns about me before Turtleboy came around. Like one time I raised like $5,000 for, I was coaching track at Doherty High School in 2007. I want to say it was 2007. And we didn't have any uniforms because it's Worcester. So I needed to raise money. I think it was like $5,000. We needed like javelins. We didn't have all this equipment and stuff. We were like the ghettoest team ever. So I was running the Boston Marathon that year, and I'm like, let's raise some money for this. Like, let's see if people are always looking to donate for a charity with that. So like Doherty track team. And I raised like $5,000 with it. And Clive Mcfarlane wrote a very nice article about me. thanking me. Another time, there was I was teaching at Shepherd Hill, and my mother made me aware of this guy. He was a Liberian immigrant named Kojo, and he had come here with his family, worked his ass off, got here, and as soon as he got to America, he got cancer, terminal cancer. He died within months. And I was teaching at Shepherd Hill at the time, and I'm like, let's raise some money for his family. And so we had our first ever student faculty basketball game there, and all proceeds went to his family, right? And Clive Mcfarlane loves that shit. So we wrote an article about it. So they've written positive articles about me. Those 2 articles are gone. They're gone. Look for them on the Telegram's website. They're gone. They literally took down 2 columns written by Clive Mcfarlane that made me look good. I swear to God. They kept up the one that insinuated that I did something inappropriate with kids, which is completely nonsense. We've been over this a million times before. That I was fired for Shepherd Hill for lewd behavior at a Bills game. It's all bullshit. So I don't necessarily even disagree with taking down shit. I just don't, like, you see what the Turtlegram did, what they took down and what they kept up. And because they're just learning this now. I've been doing this for years. I believe in Ratchet redemption. Turtleboy has a soul. They don't. And I feel like they're only going to protect themselves, but I will protect anybody who emails me and is like, look at whatever, I'm trying to get a job. This keeps coming up. It's just all about the way you write it. Even if you're lying, right? Even if you're completely full of shit, as long as you present yourself well, I just don't care. I just don't care. There's a few people I won't take down, like Nikki Evans. She ain't never coming down. Mike Gaffney, he ain't never coming down. There's some people that ain't never coming down. And not every request gets filled. Not every request gets filled. I got to see how genuine you are. Like that douchebag, that homeless guy who's obsessed with me. He does a little show about me sometimes. He messaged me in like November, and he's like, can you please take this down? Like, you know, I've moved on with my life. I've been whatever. And I just didn't respond because it was Thanksgiving. 24 hours later, he messages me. He's like, you're such a bitch. Fuck you. Sends me a picture of me and my wife, like all this shit, my kids. I'm like, okay. So you weren't genuine. You weren't genuine. You didn't mean it. But sometimes people message me and I'm like, I don't even remember that story because I didn't write it and I didn't even read it. And so I'll go back and read it. And that's what I got in an email the other day. There's a gentleman named Chris Lazzi. Does that name ring a bell, guys? Christopher Lazzi. Let me pull this blog up for you. Maybe it'll ring a bell. Okay. So this is a blog written by Bristol Blarney entitled Junk Juggling Juicer Gets His Rocks Off Posting Racist Rants, Harassing Women, and Threatening to Diddle Kids may be the most hated troll on the internet, as Bristol got dragged into his weird troll war, is inexplicably allowed to coach kids in Easton. Just from that title alone, I should have realized something was wrong with this woman. Like, I'm like, just no, that is not appropriate. That is a ridiculous headline. I'm embarrassed to have something like that on my website. I mean, how many fucking words are there? Jesus Christ. Junk Juggling Juicer Gets Rocks Off Posting Racist Rants. So I'm like, okay, so what is this? And he's like, you know, I have kids. My kids found this. Can you take it down? And I'm like, okay, let me go read it first, right? And like, I don't recognize this. I would never write a headline like this. This has to be a Bristol Blarney blog, because notice it just says Turtleboy. Whenever I get rid of a blogger, their username defaults to Turtleboy, just the regular one. I'm Uncle Turtleboy on them. So that's how you know it's an old blog or whatever. Anyway, let me show you this blog and why it doesn't meet my standards and why I'm removing it. And just, I realized how bad this woman was at her job. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. She did a good job in the Michael Cadena blogs. I think that was like the one that won me over with her, and the Ryan Waters one. She also did that one. That was really good. But I guess there was some ulterior motive there once you think about it. Anyway, so let me see this. So she goes, I don't notice at first it says this has been updated to reflect a false article sent to me as part of some weird troll war that Lazzi is involved in, because apparently faking rape charges is something people do in his circle. So what happened was this guy was a corrections officer, or is, I'm not entirely sure. Apparently, Bristol Blarney, 𝗵𝗄𝗄, accused this guy of raping an inmate named Gary Dunn. I don't even remember this. Do you guys remember this blog? I don't even remember it. And I'm like, we're going to see that didn't actually happen. Okay. So it starts off with the disclaimer. It says, this blog has been updated, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's any secret that I don't shy away from controversy online, especially on the 𝗏. I love investigating people on the hub. It's a guarantee that trolling a reaction there will yield gloriously butthurt results. But even I have limits and rules, because enthusiastic trolling is one thing and being a completely racist, entitled asshat is quite the other. With that, let me introduce you to the biggest racist asshat and steroid enthusiast on the hub and quite possibly the internet, 𝗏𝗏. Okay, so he's a big guy, right? And there he is. Outside of jamming enough needles full of anabolic steroids in his ass to shrivel even the most robust testicles to raisins and posing for photos with extremely uncomfortable young girls, spray-tanned Lou Ferrigno also enjoyed infecting the internet with shit like this. So what did he post that was that egregious? Because remember, this blog said the title was racist, right? So what's racist? What's racist about this? And it says, look at the members he supports. They advocate child abuse and beg for handouts. 90% are fucking buffoons on welfare with no life. They even back sex offenders like Michael White, who hides behind an upside-down American flag. I only go there to see how fucking pathetic the people there are. I don't see the racism there. It was on a say. I don't know if this is racist. This is just worded wrong, I think. I don't know. He goes, am I the only one here who thinks the blacks and Hispanics in this group are the most racist and bitter little people they've ever seen? Always crying racist when in fact that is entirely who they are. Your lives suck so bad because you made poor choices and blamed others for your own shortcomings, always playing the victim card. You're all just like hamsters on a wheel. It's no one's fault but your own that you didn't get a good education, good job, or start a family with the wrong persons. Bottom line is that you're just pathetic losers and crybabies who try to drag each other down to make yourselves feel better. It's not the president, and it's certainly not white people who've held you down. Look in the mirror next time you want to play the game, blame game. Now you can go cry me a river from your safe space or tell your baby mama's daddies how the man hurt you with his true words. And don't forget, Trump is still your president, snowflakes. So did I miss the racist part there? I'm like reading this over. I'm like, wait a minute. So this obviously ain't the racist part, because he said the blacks and Hispanics in here. I mean, if you had said the white people in here, would that be a problem? I mean, maybe some black people and Hispanic people said something he disagreed with. I don't know. Who knows? I wasn't there. But there is nothing racist, in my opinion, about this. I don't know. Do you guys think that's racist? You tell me. I don't know. Anyway, so it goes on to say, this chick comments, she says, this post is what happens when you tan and inject steroids too much. Y'all don't mind him. He's suffering from his Audi turning into an 80. Again, this is just back and forth. Brockton Hub, typical drama bullshit. Like this stuff gets posted on Brockton Hub 5,000 times a day because Larry Boyd basically lets you do whatever the fuck you want in it. Still not as dark as you. Why so bitter, Missy? Not my fault. You've been used and abused, and that's is left as a washed up mess. Okay. And he goes on to say, he posted this picture. And he goes, Ingrid's going to be sore in the morning. Save her Daryl. I don't even know what he's talking about there. Okay. But whatever. And he goes, and he says, she goes, maybe don't insinuate you're going to diddle a stranger's kid. You fucking bitch tits sick pedo. I don't think he's insinuating that. I think he's insinuating that the guy he's talking to is a pedo. Don't get me wrong. But this is what she writes. Wow, Chris, you're so edgy and cool. Must be better than everybody else. And I bet your penis is huge. Nothing says limp 2-incher. You couldn't get up with a defibrillator. Quite like announcing the whole freaking Brockton Hub. You are a member of the master race and then proceeding to argue and whine like a little bit to the inevitable hordes of people who disagree congenital, most likely because it's coming from a chud stuffer who looks like Hulk Hogan's retarded half brother. And hey, Chris, here's a tip. If your penis envy drives you to try so hard to prove your own superiority, maybe don't insinuate you're going to diddle a stranger's kid. You fucking bitch tits sick pedo. Mic drop. Like, I don't even know what she's talking about. Okay. So she goes on. She's like, Originally, I had been sent an article about this douche nozzle that he had raped an inmate years ago. I ran it and later found out the source was some chud named Gary Dunn, who also has no code, making me wonder if Gary has his own repressed homosexual urges and penchant for juiced up assholes slathered in self-tanner. Huh? So basically what she's saying there is that this guy, Gary Dunn, contacted me, said he was raped by this dude. I ran with it. But I'm gonna make fun of Gary, so it's all good. No harm, no foul. I can't believe I didn't even know this happened. I gotta watch what's going on in this blog more. Just make sure you tell all those around you that started off. This is what he says. It's been nice staying off YouTube and classmates, but you can explain that to them. Sad that you can't help yourself for the drama like Beth and Larry. Blah, blah, blah. So they're just shit talking back and forth. And then he goes, if this is Gary Dunn, and I think it is by the BS made up junk you posted, you have two choices. Keep it all up and the truce is off and no one is off limits and you know what that means. Or take it all down and stop your childish games. I'll know tomorrow and respond accordingly. And then he goes, pulling up the bogus CEO story you made and ancient screenshots of your buddies proves it. Okay. And then she goes, so basically, how does she explain herself that she literally posted content that a guy was a rapist, that he raped a CEO was a rapist. He raped another guy in jail. And she goes, shitty on my part for just running it. Guess all the turkey made me lazy. Even shittier on you, Gary Dunn. I will have fun exposing you. Keep in mind, this was published in November of 2018. This is about 3 months after 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗲 posted on Facebook, I finally have full custody of my kids. So, she didn't, by the way. She didn't. She was losing them one after another at the time. So, just, I mean, every time I go back and read these, I'm like, man, the arrogance of this bitch. Like, I don't know this 𝗟𝗏𝘃𝗲 guy. He might be a douchebag. He might not be. But he's a better person than 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗲. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah. So he goes on to say, he goes, it still doesn't fully exonerate Chris, though. Huh? How does that not exonerate? You don't have to be. This is her whole thought process, like with me, right? He's not exonerated. He hasn't proven that he hasn't done something. Bitch, what are you talking about? He doesn't have to prove that he didn't rape somebody. The person who claims he raped is a liar. You did nothing to vet it. You just saw a guy you didn't like because you saw she doesn't like masculine men. You can tell she doesn't like that, right? She's not into that. Masculine men have been rejecting 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗲 her entire life, right? And there's something about them that she does. She likes washed up junkie dick. She's more into that. Washed up junkie dick, losers, unemployed, pillheads, people that she can, manipulate and fuck with. That's the kind of guy she's into. So this guy probably rubbed her the wrong way simply by existing. Goes on to say, still doesn't fully exonerate Chris, though. He enjoys making shit up, too. He's just less convincing. He's an intelligent, respectful, and upstanding pillar of society who enjoys the finer things in life, like abusing children. Juicing. Okay, probably juicing. Racial intolerance, huh? And harassing random women online while sounding like a complete fucking moron. Okay, what did he post? Do the members here know that one of their administrators is a convicted violent felon drug dealer named Beth Carew Garcia using the alias DS? Now, DS, I've had my issues with this chick before on the hub. That's not her name. That's not her real name, okay? A scumbag who uses many aliases to try to ruin people's lives as she's called people's jobs and lied to them to get them fired and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he basically has a beef with this chick on the Brockton hub, and because of that, 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗲 thinks that it's fair game to just call this guy a rapist. Okay. And so all these people tell him that's not DS, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, he's become super well-liked online due to his sparkling personality and ruddy orange complexion too, which is probably why people go to such lengths to make him look even worse than he is. And then she posts like pictures of like comments that other people left about him on Facebook. I don't even know what any of this shit is. Okay. People have been shitting on this guy since like 2015. some guy named 𝗵𝗵𝘃𝗀𝘆. This is probably Gary Dunn, I'm assuming, posting all this shit about him. I don't even fucking know. And she goes on to say, good question. 𝗧𝗂𝗶𝘃 likes to charade around like a tough guy, but he definitely fears the turtle. Oh, God. See, fuck this bitch. She's going around like threatening people like, oh, I'm going to fear the turtle. Fear Bristol. Like, that's never been what we've been about. Yeah, some people are douchebags. But like, what the fuck did this guy do exactly besides rub you the wrong way? That's it. You just don't like the way he looks and the things he's saying, basically, even though he's really not saying anything that bad. He goes, but he definitely fears the turtle, seeing how as soon as I announced my presence in the comments, he turned off commenting to his post and ran and hid like the cowardly cunt hair he obviously is. Oh, so this is her, Natalie Wood. Yep, just saw it. Be careful, Chris 𝗧𝗂𝗄. You know not what you do. Oh, shut the fuck up. God, this is embarrassing. What a charmer. Inexplicably, though, it looks like Chris, I love my juice in my ass, 𝗧𝗂𝗄 is also Coach 𝗧𝗂𝗄 for Easton's Pop Warner team, the Tigers. And then she posts pictures of fucking children, right? She goes, which is a great idea because he totally seems like, and by the way, remember Kate Peters, like, why are you bringing kids into this? She always says that. Why are you bringing kids into this? Kate, you literally brought kids into this story. These kids are like freaking 6 and you're posting their faces on a fucking blog. This bitch thinks she's better than other people. You're literally bringing other people's kids into it, which is a great idea because he totally seems like who you want in charge of your young children unsupervised. It would be a shame if Easton Pop Warner's Facebook page was flooded with comments about Jesus Christ, about how unsafe this boner fluffer is to be around children and women and generally any. Well, how is he dangerous around women and children? What the fuck did he do? Nothing. She literally, and so I'm like, I read it over. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm like, he was luckily pretty understanding about it. I'm like, that chick, I hate her too. This is embarrassing. Never. He goes, read the comments. And so I did. And dude, it was just like everybody, I don't normally read the comments. Maybe I should. But it's just everybody shitting on her. Like, where's the racism? Where's the racism? And it's cool because at least everybody knows that, like, obviously I didn't write that, right? Nothing he wrote was racist. I'm going to chalk this poor article up to being Thanksgiving and the real writers took a day off. So there you go. You got that right. So right now for you people, I'm going to go ahead and what I do is I go and delete these. I put them in the drafts so they're no longer on the website. I'm going to do it for you right now so you guys can see. That's what I do, okay? I put everything in the drafts just in case the person ends up like fucking actually doing something. I'll still have it there. But I've never, ever once, I don't think, taken a blog down, put it in the drafts, and then put it back up. I never permanently delete anything. Everything just goes in the drafts. But I've never had the need to put anything back up. So that's down. It is what it is. And I am going to start looking for some new bloggers soon because I don't want to do this by myself anymore. And now that I have advertising networks on TV Daily News, I feel like I could take on some more bloggers and they can actually get paid based on how they perform. Because that's how I got paid them before. I paid them per page view. So like, for instance, if I was making, let's say $4 for every 1,000 page views on the blog. So if you write a blog that got 10,000 page views, that would generate about $40 for the blog. So what I would do is I would say you get half and I get half, and that's a pretty good deal. You get half of. I mean, I own the platform, I built it. You're getting 50%, commission basically. That's a pretty good deal. And so I'll thank you, Lyle Lindy. She says I heard Constantino had inappropriate contact with his grandmother. Yeah, in the grave. I heard. And so, yeah, like South Shore Turtle Girl, when she used to write for me, she was my top earner because she would write some blogs sometimes that would get like crazy page views, like, hundreds of thousands of page views sometimes. Like if you write up 100,000 page view blog, that's $200. Not too shabby for, 1 day's work of writing a blog. Not too shabby. So I will be able to do that soon. The problem is vetting and finding quality writers. I've kind of like switched up. Like the TV Daily News brand is definitely different from Turtleboy because I don't right? Inflammatory. It's basically the same stories, except I just don't call people 𝗵𝗴𝘆s and cunt rags and jizz muffins and stuff like that. It's a more respectable, because that was always the knock on Turtleboy, right? Like, oh, he calls people 𝗵𝗴𝘆s. I'm not listening to him. Okay, well, let me tell you the same exact story without using the word 𝗵𝗴𝘆s. How about that? Is it legit then? Is it? Because it doesn't change the heart of what's being discussed here. So I am going to be looking for that. It's really hard to find bloggers, though, good ones. I've had hundreds of people submit samples, and it's really hard to find people that fit the brand right. Everybody tries too hard. But I will be hopefully doing another round soon, and I'll be looking for more people to join the Turtleboy team. You know, make some money, hopefully, for yourself, and help build Turtleboy, and see if we can make this. I mean, it's pretty great right now, but I feel like it could be even greater. Make Turtleboy even greater again, especially with the new resistance movement we got going on, because there's going to be a ton of shit to write about constantly. It's good. All right, so that's that. That's story number one. Story number two I want to talk about is, let me pull up here a thing I found. You guys see this? Okay, so this is coming up. All right, so let me see if I can zoom in. Is that better? Okay, so this is a Roxbury Unity Parade is coming up here in Roxbury. It's being held by the Saturday, March 20th from 3 to 4 p.m. Ceremony viewed on the Roxbury Unity Parade Facebook page. They're giving out awardees. Notice who was on getting an award down here. Let's zoom in. See, the Mary Morris Lifetime Achievement Award goes to what is that? Clementina Cherry. Good for her. The Leader of Tomorrow Award goes to one Monica Cannon Grant. That's interesting. So here's the deal. Monica Cannon Grant is no longer allowed to be accepted in polite society. I simply won't allow it. And the reason that the Boston Globe and stuff gets away with it is nobody ever confronts them. But we did. We confront Monica Cannon Grant. That's what we do. And it's going to be nicer on March 20th. That's the first day of spring, I think, or one of the first days of spring. And we will be there. I'm going to call. I know I could just call Rayla tonight and be like, March 20th, Monica Cannon Grant's going to be there 3 to 4 p.m. She'll be like, it's like a 100% chance Rayla Campbell will be there with her megaphone and her speakers, and it will be great. So we do plan to disrupt this because we will not allow racism to be pervasive in society. We won't do it. We are anti-racist freedom fighters who we believe conservative Black Lives Matter, all Black Lives Matter, but particularly conservative Black lives, because those are under attack more than any others. And so we will be defending their right to exist, their right to live, their right to be free. And we will be, that'll be the stage of our next protest, because Monica Cannon Grant thinks she got rid of us. Girl, you have no idea how long I can hold a grudge. I know that you like to scream and shout and yell and shit like that, and that's worked for a whole time, and all the other gringos back down, don't they? They're all scared of you because they're all scared of being called racist. I'm the guy that isn't scared. I'm the guy who doesn't give a fuck at all. I'm the guy who shows up in Roxbury and Hyde Park and yells at your fucking thugs who protect you and the racists who protect you and those Antifa shitbags who show up to protect you. I'm that guy, okay? You got me confused with all the other white boys you've been dealing with. That ain't me, okay? So get used to it. Get used to it, because you signed up for this. Your job right now, the only acceptable thing for Monica Cannon Grant to do is go away and never return. That's it. That's it. Those are my terms. And if she's unwilling to do that, then I will continue to peacefully protest. Anyway, also notice that this is sponsored by a number of organizations, and we will be going after the sponsors, because one thing about the new resistance, guys, the Turtleboy New Resistance movement is we're down with cancel culture. We're on board. A lot of people are against cancel culture. I'm all for it. I'm against it in theory. I'd rather not have cancel culture. I don't believe in it, but I didn't declare this war. They did. But I will fight by the same rules that they do. And if they are canceling, then we're canceling. That's what we do. We will go after every business and every legitimate person associated with you. We will show up wherever they are. We will protest them. We will play Monica Cannon Grant's greatest hits over and over again. And there's going to be a lot of N-word in there. We're going to make you feel real uncomfortable. Real uncomfortable. So just understand that. Moving forward, those are the rules. This is how the Turtleboy New Resistance fights. We fight dirty. We fight by your rules. Because the only way to end cancel culture is to cancel everybody. That's it. Because it's always our side being canceled. Then we whine about, oh, my cancel culture. Oh, yeah, it sucks. It's unfair. And then it just happens again. And then we're always like, whenever we try to, no, we can't do that. We're principled conservatives. We don't do that. Fuck that. Fuck principles. That's one thing Donald Trump taught me is principles don't matter. Winning matters. Mitt Romney and John McCain had principles. They got their fucking ass beat. Donald Trump won. That's I like winners personally. Gas money to get to the, thank you, 7-pounder for the dono there. Thank you. And of course I'll be doing a live there. That goes without saying. Road Rage Rollins. Yeah, we'll be going after her, but she got bigger fish to fry. Quite frankly, the state police are on her ass. I know that as a fact. The Attorney General's office hires the state police to investigate these things. And think of that. Like, she's going after the police so hard, they're going to return the favor. I think this is actually going to be a legitimate investigation. I think she's going to be in trouble. I think she's going to be in some trouble. So we will see what happens with that. It is going to be a pleasure taking her down, especially with her latest rants about Fenway Park being racist. She was at Fenway Park last year. She had a picture of it on Twitter. I swear to God, can't make this shit up. All right, so that's that. So we'll be talking about that. And oh yeah, brother. So we're gonna go through the sponsors. Eastern Bank is gonna hear from us. Let me pull up the Eastern Bank. We're gonna check out their website real quick. Eastern Bank. No, that's not the one I want. Where'd it go? Oh, that one. Okay. So we're going to call these people up. I'm going to do a blog on this tomorrow. Media contacts. We're going to contact Paul Alexander. He is the media contact for Eastern Bank, as well as Andrea Goodman. We will be calling and emailing both of those. We'll probably give Robert F. Rivers, the chairman and CEO of Eastern Bank, a nice call. And we're going to let them know that they are associating themselves with racism, with violent racism against Black women in particular, particularly women who want to engage in interracial relationships. And if they are going to be associated with this, I will show up at every one of their branches every day for the rest of my life and live stream protests outside of there, playing Monica Cannon Grant's greatest hits on repeat. I will do that every fucking day. And every single person who goes into your bank will hear that. And they will know that you support this, that you contribute to this sort of hate speech and racism. And it's going to be fucking fun, guys. Being part of the new resistance is a blast. I get why liberals do this all the time. It's fun as fuck to cancel people. They'll like form mobs and go after them and be like, pretend you're virtuous and all that shit. It's a rush. I'm not going to lie. So I get it. I was wrong about the cancel culture people. This is fun as shit. So we're going to do that more often, etc. Okay. So that's that. I think that's about it on Monica. Let me talk now briefly about the blog I just did here. I got to talk about this because this is too good. I'm really mad about this one. Really mad about this one. This bitch. There he is. The gender consultant Karen. I don't think I've ever seen a woman that I despise more than this one. I mean, is this the ultimate Karen, guys, or what? Look at this broad. Jessica Porter from Dedham. As you know, last week, this is legit her job. She's a gender scholar, a consultant, and a gender scholar, and whatever that means. I don't know. What is a gender consultant? Today, quite frankly, it sounds like a difficult job because there's like 5,000 genders out there. But what do? They're like, so I'm a gender consultant. So you come to me and you're like, hey, I need some consulting advice on my gender. What should I do? Should I go male, female? maybe a little hybrid situation. We go a little non-binary. What do you think about that? Non-conforming. What do we think? Can we just make one up? Let's just make up gender. You go to her and she's like, okay, let me put some numbers into the computer, analyze things. Why don't you go with why don't we go non-binary? That's your gender for today. I assume that's what a gender consultant does. I'm not entirely sure. So that is her job. She's a gender consultant. She's from Dedham, and she's on like a million boards in town, including the elected planning board. I have no idea what the planning board does in town, but it's probably important because I'm quickly learning that like the most important people in our lives are on the health board and these boards of selectmen and school committees that you never heard of before. And they kind of control our lives, but she's on the planning board. She was also a former research project manager at Harvard Business School. And she just looks like, when you go to her page, it is like every wealthy, suburban, white liberal everywhere. Like this is the face of people who control politics in Massachusetts. This is it. This is like if I were to draw them in a tech, like draw them from scratch, they would look like this. Like you look at these bitches, like these are all women who I guarantee come from homes that bring in over $100,000 in revenue a year easily. Everything, their lives are comfortable. They're probably upper middle class, not too wealthy, but like very comfortable. And they probably have tea once a week, and they get around and they talk about how they can, what did anybody read Dr. Kendi this week? Oh, it was very good. Very good. Oh yes. I gave some money to his organization. They're doing great. You know what? Our organization gave $500 this week because Dr. Kendi does great work. He's fantastic. This is I know exactly what these people are like. And she is the face of that. She is the face of that. I went through a page. You couldn't find a single black person if you tried. So she has thoughts on the football coach story that I did last week that made pretty big headlines. It got a lot of views. If you recall, quick review of this, football coach Dave Flynn was fired from his job because he advocated on behalf of his daughter, his 7th grade daughter, after her teacher started using on remote learning. She started using a Bitmoji with a Black Lives Matter shirt and started to like push critical race theory, the controversial kind of Black Lives Matter endorsed way of thinking and teaching history and, teaching race relations in this country. Critical race theory. Basically, the sum of critical race theory is that white people are bad. There is no such thing as white identity. Forget about that. Black people are aggrieved and brown people, and they should focus on their identity, but white people should not, because white people are evil and they should basically check their privilege, learn more about their unconscious bias. Everything is on them to figure out, how to make life better for the poor, oppressed people like LeBron James. And she shared, as part of this critical race theory, this teacher shared this absurd and blatantly racist and offensive cartoon showing a black guy and a white guy walking by each other, and they're both thinking about racial stereotypes about the other. Basically, they think they're both going to die. And this is divisive, right? This is dangerous. This tears society apart. Like the more we focus on race, the longer racism will persist, which is exactly what people like Dr. Kendi want. Because without racism, they would have to get a real job. Like their entire livelihood revolves around racism as much as my livelihood kind of revolves around them. I hate to say it, but I also have like Ratchets and other people, 𝗏𝗏 Kirkpatricks of the world. I also got a bunch of other people I could blog about. So I'd survive without the race baiters. But this is not good. And it's certainly not appropriate for 7th grade children. And so as a parent, the guy advocated for his daughter, went out there and contacted the principal, the teacher, got nowhere. They basically said, this is what we're learning here. This is the way things are now. Went to the superintendent, got no satisfaction with the superintendent. So he wrote an email that I got a hold of that he sent to a couple members of the school committee. And it was a pretty well-worded email, I thought, just basically explaining his thoughts on this. Okay. And he was fired for that. Even though it had nothing to do with the job he did as a coach, nothing to do with it. he was still fired. And that's scary. That should scare us all. That you should not be scared to advocate for your child for fear of losing your job. You should always advocate for your kid. And so if you think something unhealthy is being pushed on your child in school, you should speak up without fear of like reprisal. But that is exactly what happened here. This guy spoke up on behalf of his kid, not as a coach, on behalf of his kid, and he was punished for it. So then this cunt comes in, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. This is what he says. Okay, this is what this bitch said. So, I've been getting a lot of questions from people near and far about the news that our high school football coach's contract was not renewed. There's been a lot of confusion about what actually happened, and a lot of posts and articles that he was fired for expressing his opinions, quote unquote. This is my personal attempt at an explainer. I'll try to source as I can and note facts from hearsay. Please keep in mind that we will never have the quote unquote whole story, because like all employers, Dedham Public Schools cannot disclose personnel matters. That's why it's important to understand the facts that are known. So she goes on to say, remember, this woman's an elected official. She obviously has influence in the town. And this is what she's speaking basically on behalf of the powers that be. Coach Flynn was not fired. His contract was not renewed. The Boston Globe erroneously reported he was fired, but has since noted that the reporting error and corrected the story. Bitch, there is no difference between not being renewed and fired. It's the same goddamn thing. Every year, high school coaches in every sport are automatically renewed. High school coaches don't get 4-year contracts. You get a 1-year contract, 1-season contract. You do your job, you get your stipend. Then the next year, you just send them an email. You send the AD an email saying, yeah, I'd like to, I want in. I want to keep the job. I want to reapply. Okay, cool. And it's a foregone conclusion. You keep the job. There's no, you don't have to compete for it. It's generally how it goes. And so to say that this guy was not fired, they just didn't renew his contract, there's no fucking difference. It's the same thing. They went out of their way to tell a successful coach, you're not welcome back here because of ideological differences. Number 2, she says, this distinction is important for financial and legal reasons. If it was standard type contract, then there is no reason to think it wasn't. This means the Dedham Public Schools, and hence our town's taxpayers, are protected from having to pay any continuing compensation through a long contract term. So that's not really important. Number 3, while it's unlikely this would go to court. Okay, so time out right there. While it's unlikely it would go to court. Bitch, you don't even know. I've had a couple really good attorneys contact me about this. And I've put them in, I emailed the Flynns. They don't really want to talk that much, so they couldn't really give me much of the story, but I got their email. I sent it to them and I said, this attorney wants to talk to you and this attorney wants to talk to you. And they are pretty convinced this is a case. They want something like this. This is like a groundbreaking lawsuit because this is a blatant First Amendment violation. Because they were dumb enough to put it in writing that we are separating ways for ideological reasons because he's ideologically opposed to it. Nothing to do with his coaching responsibilities. Nothing. Just ideological, philosophical differences. That's what they said. Dumb. You can't fire somebody for that. Can't do that. So she thinks there's not going to be a lawsuit, but I goddamn hope there is. I don't know if they'll follow through on this, but they seem to think that there's something there. It's currently being tried in the court of public opinion, so it seems worth clarifying what happened, or at least what is publicly known about what happened, and the apparent reasons that the town decided not to renew or extend Coach Flynn's contract. So then she explains it. In October of 2020, Coach Flynn wrote a long email in which he documented a conversation he and his wife had with Superintendent Welch. In the email, he belittled the superintendent. So I got this email, and it's basically what happened during this is the guy, after the meeting, the coach went home and he's like, I want to remember everything. He must have taken notes or something. He wrote down everything that was happened during this meeting and he just wanted to document it. So he goes home and he writes this long email that explains everything that happened during the meeting. And he shares his thoughts on the meeting and where he's coming from. This guy's a teacher, he's got a master's degree. He's a respectable member of society. He's not some, thug, not some like jock football coach, one of those. Like, he's a teacher first and foremost. Okay. And she goes on the email. He belittled the superintendent, his boss, calling him a weak, soft canary. Now, keep in mind, this was just his opinion. This guy, I don't know if he said it in those words, but whatever. That's his opinion. You're allowed to have that opinion. And saying he's wrong, man for the job, as is his right. He took issue with the DPS commitment to racial equity, saying, quote unquote, equity is a word used by socialists. What? So this is a problem? This is a problem? Equity is a word used by socialists. Just Google it. Here's our socialist vice president and what she said about equality. Check this out. Kamala Harris shared this on the freaking Biden website. Check out this video. And this literally proves it. This, remember, the difference between equity and equality. Equality is what Martin Luther King wanted. Everybody be treated equally under the law. Equity means equality of outcomes, meaning it's not enough just to be treated equally. We have to make sure that everybody ends up in the same place too. So let's see what happens.
Equity. Equality suggests, oh, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we can get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be.
So first of all, I like how this whole thing, like the idea here is that we all don't start off on the same things, right? The white guy starts up here, but the black guy starts down there and he can't get to the top. There's 40 million black people in this country. They don't all start from the bottom. They don't. And there's like, we already have a million things to help avoid this. There's literally free public education is a big one, I would say. Free public education is the tool to help you climb that mountain. So many programs, right? Social services, welfare, food stamps, you name it. There's a million and one things the government does to help people get on their feet, right? Get a boost. That we've already fixed that. That exists. If you can't find equity given those, building blocks, then you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Racism is not hurting you. You're hurting yourself because you're a fucking idiot. That's all there is to it. So
not everybody's starting out from the same place.
Can't believe this is our place.
If we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we can get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me.
Shut the fuck up.
It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
That about sums it up right there. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place. We all end up at the same place. Okay? But remember, according to this woman's post, he took issue with the DPS commitment to racial equity, saying equity is a word used by socialists. Yeah, that's literally socialism. Everybody gets paid the same. This is the basis of socialism, is equity. That no matter how hard anybody works, you should all get paid the same. And the government should make sure of it. That's one of the most accurate things a human being could write. He is 100% correct if he said that. Either way, even if you disagree with that, which is fine, that's not a fireable. You don't fire somebody because they have a difference of opinion about you. Not everybody has to go along with this. This is controversial stuff that you're pushing. Not everybody agrees with this, and that's okay too. You're not required to agree with this in order to keep your job as a head football coach, because it has nothing to do with your job, period. There's nothing, like, he's the football coach. Should every kid get the same amount of playing time? No. But wait a minute. No. The kid who's playing middle linebacker, he has better genes. He came from a family where dad was an athlete and he's big and strong. And, Junior over here, his dad's a crackhead. He had no opportunities in life. So that's not equity. No, literally football sports is the greatest equalizer because we're not equal. There's no such thing as equity. There's a winner and a loser, and that's okay. You work hard and you try to climb that mountain, baby. You're smaller than the other guy. Hit the weight room up. Lift some weights. Do it. Work harder. Train. Do what you got to do. Practice. But they don't believe in that because that's what socialists, I mean, literally, he's 100% right there. He could not be more right. So she goes on to say, he said the approach the schools are taking is, quote unquote, starting the division, which leads to civil unrest. It is. How is it not? We are telling kids, okay, black kids, and you guys should just focus on your race. And, you know, white people are all trying to kill you and black people are trying to kill you. Right. And that's not good. You guys should stop trying. Like, we are literally just telling kids to not like each other. Right. And I think about this. Like, my daughter has, there's one black girl in my daughter's class. Right. And I don't even think my daughter understands the concept of race yet. And that's a beautiful thing. I love that. Because she just sees the other girls in class, the black kids, the white kids, as kids. She's never once made a reference to like race of the other girl, even though it's elephant in the room. There's only one girl in class who's black. You would think that would stand out, but it doesn't, because kids don't think like that. Human beings are not conditioned. They are taught to do that. They are taught to focus on race. Left to their own devices, we would not do that. But these people, they want to keep doing it. They want to keep dividing us based on race. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible what they're doing. Bunch of racists. So he goes, and he signed the email, head football coach of Dedham High School. This email was widely sent out to parents of DPS students and then forwarded to many others. Regardless of the sentiments and opinions expressed in the email, this goes beyond expressing an opinion. No, it doesn't go beyond expressing. It does not go beyond expressing an opinion. It's literally expressing an opinion. That's it. And seems like ample reason for DPS to decide that it would not renew or extend this contract. This bitch is behind it. I guarantee this bitch had something to do with this. Not this bitch. This cunt. She's not a bitch. She's a cunt. That word is specifically created for people like her. I'm listing this as a fact rather than hearsay because I've seen the email by multiple people and it's clear it has been forwarded by some folks, blah, blah, blah. So this is this whole, I have the email too. This is what he wrote. The superintendent then started on about how the Dedham schools must be committed to being more involved in diversity, equity, inclusion. I asked him to think about changing the word equity to equality. This is one of the many issues I have with BLM. Equity is not humanly possible. Equity means that people will all be the same. Equity means that if one person has a job, another person can have that job too. This will never happen. People are individuals. No two people can ever be the same. But equality means that everyone has the same opportunities as each other to reach their goals. Equity is a word used by socialists. Notice that's all she put in there was the last sentence. Nothing that came before that. Nothing. Takes out all context, doesn't it? It seems like he's just ranting about socialists, but he explains it all perfectly. Perfectly. So, yeah, there was that. And also love this part here. Let me read this part to you. This is the best part. This issue has become quite complicated for many reasons. For one, this issue has been picked up and amplified by an extremist blog. So that's us. We're the extremist blog. What are we extremist? What even is an extremist? Am I an extremist? I'm extremely truthful, extremely genuine, extremely honest, extremely good rapper. What else am I extreme? I'm extreme in a lot of things, but I don't think I'm an extremist in the way that she perceives. To her, an extremist, of course, is a white nationalist, a radical fundamentalist, extremely blunt. Absolutely. Extremely blunt. You can say that again. And he goes, so whatever, I'm an extremist. And some folk on the site and Facebook sites have encouraged harassment of a teacher and administrators. I have not encouraged any harassment of Facebook administrators. I encouraged nonviolent, respectful emails, as is our right. Do you think we do not have a right to petition public servants, especially racist ones, like that push critical race theory, which is a divisive, dangerous, and racist method? Yeah, I will not apologize for that. And this is my favorite part. I have not seen Coach Flynn or his supporters renounce that site Why should he renounce? Like, because he didn't renounce Turtleboy, which all I did was report on what happened. That's it. I reported on what happened. Now, because this guy did not renounce me, the guy that stood up for him and put the freaking truth out there, he should be published. Because he did not renounce that site, nor the white supremacists who are championing his cause. Fuck this bitch. White supremacists. What white supremacists? The thing is, she would never say this to my face. She would never. I would say it to her face because she is a white supremacist. Look at her fucking page. It's filled with white people who think they're better than other people because they're white people in denim. They are fucking racists. They're pretty much modern day Klansmen. They think so little of black people that black people cannot survive without their fucking help. They are fucking evil cunts, and I will spend the next 4 years destroying these white people. You understand that? I have declared war on racist white people like her. That is what I will use this platform to do. As long as these people push this fucking racist bullshit, I will not stand for it anymore. And you don't get to just, oh, he's a white supremacist. That means fucking nothing to me. Your made up bullshit means nothing to me. You actually are a white supremacist. You white supremacist cunt. And I won't stand for it anymore. Okay? I'm going to call you out on that every fucking time. You know, nor the white supremacists who are champion. And even if there, first of all, there are no white supremacists. It's just people who support this guy because he does a good job coaching. I bet you there are people supporting this guy who don't even agree with his politics, but just think like, what? He coaches football. Why are we firing over this? This is insane. I'm a liberal. This is ridiculous. That's who's backing this guy. There's no, like, did I miss all the white supremacists who are out here like, yeah, white power. White power. Like this fucking guy. I'm backing this coach because he's white. Yeah. Stick it to the white superintendent. What? Bunch of assholes. I'm not going into the content of Coach Flynn's opinions here, though I may say it was sad to read them. It was sad to read his opinions. Unbelievable. And you are going into it because you've highlighted a couple things and demeaned them. My point here is to document the known facts of the incidents because I've seen so many posts and gotten personal requests from people who are trying to distinguish facts from allegations. While I'm here, I want to thank our school committee and superintendent for the commitment to racial equity and inclusion. And for the record, I'm not a socialist. Yeah, well, yeah, of course you're not a socialist. You're wealthy. You're wealthy. You would never be a socialist. You're smart enough to know that that's fucking crazy. But you are a race socialist. You believe that, like, here's the thing. This woman probably lives in an all-white neighborhood. If she believed in equity, then her neighborhood should be diverse. There should be black people, Latino people, Asian people, all that. She should fucking give up her home to a black person. That's racial equity. You go live where they live, and they live where you live. That's how you get racial equity. But she would never do this because these people are unwilling to sacrifice anything. They just like to seem woke, but they're unwilling to actually give something up in order to achieve this quote-unquote equity because they're not stupid, right? They're not actually socialists. She's right. So anyway, that's that. Why don't we go take any questions you guys have in the comments? Go fire away. Any comments you guys have? All right. Any questions? If you have any questions or comments, now's your time. Did I have court yet? Good question. So court was supposed to be yesterday, but the BLT 123 never, Ashley St. Angelo never served me. So that got delayed. Now I went to Leominster Court yesterday, district court yesterday, and I applied for a harassment order. And guess what? It was granted. I got a TRO. So now douchebag McGee has to come up to Leominster 2 weeks from tomorrow for his hearing. And I made sure to write his as many times possible in my affidavit, because what this person is doing to me and my family is criminal. And the Holden police are also hopefully going to be filing stalking and harassment charges against him. He's threatening to show up at my wife's place of employment. He's bothering her at work. He's bothering me. He's bothering my family. He's dangerous. He's a dangerous person. He's trying to blackmail us. He's posting pictures of my kids, saying we sexually abuse them. I'm not standing for that. This motherfucker thinks he could fuck with me. No. We're not dealing with that. I'm not going to put up with that. So I got our order, and I have a hearing coming up, and I'm going to get it because the facts are on my side. And that's going to help me get rid of this stupid order, this fake order, this fake judge in Rhode Island. Unbelievable, these fucking Rhode Island judges put on myself and other people. Anything else? How often do bloggers have to write a story, and can bloggers write about anything they choose? That's a good question. So I used to, a big reason I lost Social Turtle Girl and them was I put too much pressure on them to like write more blogs. I look back on those days. I'm like, I should have been more laid back. I just thought they could do more. But, you know, from now on, I guess there really is no expectation. I would say at least you got to do, oh, thank you, Brittany, freestyle to the 50 beat. She goes freestyle to the 508 beat this weekend. If somebody can isolate the beat for me, just the beat, I will do that. But I don't have the beat for that. I only have their sing-along, you know? But back to her question, can bloggers write about anything they choose? Not anything, but I do generally give a little, freedom. It's got to fit the brand. It's got to be like a Turtleboy related kind of topic, like something that I would write about, a topic I would write about. And you can't have any opinion you want. Like, it's not like complete, like this is a brand. If you come on here and you start spewing liberal bullshit, not happening. I don't want that on my website. This is a free speech, no bullshit blog. And we speak truth to power around here. So you got to fit the brand. I would say I would like you to publish at least 3 a week, at least. That'd be cool. The ideal blogger for me really is somebody that like is working from home, or they're a stay-at-home mom. Those are the best ones. Or just somebody who has some free time and is looking for a hobby, something like that. That just. Maybe you're like I was before I started Turtleboy. You're just a guy who posts on Facebook a lot, and you have a lot of opinions, so you might as well write it in a blog instead of on Facebook, something like that. Yeah. We got another donor there. Congrats on your win. Sorry you have to go through this. Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. And I don't want to answer any more questions. You got no offense, guys. The Turtle Club and the FOIA questions, just those questions are old. It'll be done soon, I promise. I'm not answering any of those questions anymore. Fourth Amendment rights for students. They illegal searched and interrogated 30 students. There was no drugs. There's no such thing as an illegal search in school grounds, actually, believe it or not. That's actually been litigated in court. There's Supreme Court decisions on that one. The Bills did shit the bed. They were not who we thought. We forgot how good the Kansas City Chiefs are. So it's going to be quite the Super Bowl, but I feel like if it was Packers against Chiefs, the Chiefs would definitely win. But there's just something special about Tom Brady. And I have faith. I have faith. If there's anybody this is going to be the highest over-under, I think, in the history of the Super Bowl. It's already 57 or 58, etc. Do I know about the Black National Anthem? Yeah, it sounds racist. And should they be teaching? No, they should not be teaching kids about that. There's no such thing as the Black National Anthem because black people are not a nation. It's just the national anthem. That's more, again, critical race theory, divisive bullshit that's being pushed on us because of the patron saint of fentanyl, George Floyd, died over the summer. Anything else? Who called it? I guess you did. You're right. You're right. You know everything there, MJ. Thank you. Are there any Gupta Juniors? There's just Gupta. 3-pick Brady. Yeah, you can call him 3-pick Brady, but one thing about Brady is that, like, he doesn't get down. Like, often these guys throw picks and it just kills them. Brady never gives up after a pick. Brady can have these games where he throws a lot of picks and it doesn't matter. He just comes back stronger during the game. He's great. Can a blog be nationwide or in your ear? That's a great question too. So if you blog about me, we like to do local stuff, right? However, I'm always looking to expand. You understand? Like, so if you're from a new area and I don't know, New Jersey, whatever, Pennsylvania, something like that, and you want to write about shit in your area, more power to you. Because if you can build an audience in that area, that's great. But you got to be consistent about it. You know what I mean? To keep people from those areas interested in the blog and keep them coming back. New Jersey versus TL. That was the one. New Jersey versus TLO. And I believe TLO lost that lawsuit. I want to say thank you for the memory. That was the one. I believe your TLO lost that one. That's the one that gives schools the right to search you during school grounds. Like anything in your locker, anything like that is fair game. They do not need to ask you. You have no Fourth Amendment rights. Basically, the second you step foot in the school. Will it be over under? I mean, I'll think about that once we get closer. Odds on Trump getting convicted in second impeachment trial? No, he's not. He's not going to. I mean, they need 67. How are they going to get 67? Okay, so you get the 50 Democrats now, right? And then you'll get like, you know, you might get Mitt in there. Who knows? A couple others. You're not getting 17 Republicans. But I'll tell you one thing. We're fucked in 2022 in the Senate. Fucked. That Georgia, I mean, guys, 4 years ago, Republicans controlled both seats in Georgia and both seats in Arizona. Now Democrats have all four of those. We just gave up 4 seats like it was fucking nothing. We've gained a couple seats. We took back the seat in Alabama, North Dakota, which we should have had the whole fucking time. There's no excuse for ever not having both seats in North Dakota. We've lost the seat in we gained the seat in Missouri, but we should have always had the Josh Hawley seat. We got that one. But they've also gained Colorado. They gained, like I said, both in Arizona, both in Georgia. And then this upcoming race, right? We got Pat Toomey's up for re-election in Pennsylvania. Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. Those are blue states. Those are states that went for Biden. If we lose those, we're fucked. Marco Rubio's running for re-election again, but Florida's trending red for good now, I think. So I don't think we're in danger of losing that. But like, if they get more and more people in the Senate, we're in trouble, man. So we need to take the House back and the presidency in 2024, which I have good confidence in. So no, he's not getting convicted. Yeah, Collins, Murkowski, Mitt, Ben Sass. Yeah, you can count on I think those 4 you can count on, especially. Yeah. Ben Sass is from Nebraska. I don't know how he keeps getting elected. He's not that bad of a guy, but he doesn't like Trump. Mitt doesn't like Trump, obviously. Murkowski and Collins, or especially Murkowski's lukewarm about Trump, etc. Yeah, 55. I like that. 55-45. I think it'll be around there. I think that's what Clinton was too. People always say we need a Turtleboy in Florida. First of all, Turtleboy needs to be in Florida. I need to be living in Florida. Florida's the greatest state in this fucking country, man. It's wicked hot, but I am so envious of people that live in Florida. It is a different world down there. They are living in a free paradise, and it's run by the best governor in the country who should be president in 2024, Ron DeSantis. Okay, anything else? Wait, is Tino here? Is our boy here? My slave? He got so mad last night, guys. So Constant Failure, the guy that how did you like that Chicago Teachers Union video? Oh, I got to show you guys that video. It's hilarious. If I got a minute, remind me about that. But that guy Constantino that Bristol shit on, he's been like begging. He started his own YouTube channel. It is so cringe, and it's he gets about 7 or 8 viewers each show, and they're all turtle riders, and they just go on there to crap on them. It's so funny. Anyway, he's obsessed with me. I think he jerks off to me. He wanted to come on the program, and I don't allow it. But I went on his the other day because I'm like, fuck it. I'll just go on his stupid show. I went on there and just fucked with him. And then he's been messaging me stupid shit. Thank you, Kathy, very much for the dono there. Also, thank the Green Hornet. Says, go Turtle, Fall River Raw in the house. Thank you very much, Green Turtle and Kathy. But he's been wanting me to come on the program, and I won't do it. He can't come on here because he's not good for rating. Like, he's boring, whatever. He blocked me, or I blocked him rather, and he went on his show last night and cried like a bitch for 30 minutes. Literally cried. And then he went and edited it out on his video later on. I'd post the video, but he's irrelevant, so we're not even going to get on that. And he's probably so hard right now that I'm even referencing him because, as he's mentioned, like, he wins when I talk about him because he's not relevant and Turtleboy is. So it is what it is. I'm not having him on here unless he gets more interesting. That's basically it. Brett did. He thinks he broke Brett. Yeah. Amanda, Brittany, it's always the same, like 7 people on the street. Lee is on there a lot. And yeah. Tit is teeny. Okay. Who's Tit? You mean Mitt or Tit? Oh, so Mitt is, that's Constantino. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you got to see Brett Callahan. Brett started a YouTube channel, and I started watching a couple of Brett's videos today. Just he'll shit on Constantino. Go watch some of Brett's videos. I watched a couple of them today. Had them on the background. I couldn't stop laughing. Brett shitting on this kid is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, let me show you the quick Let me show you here the video here that we're talking about, the Chicago Teachers Union. Let me bring it up. Hold on. Wait a minute, did they block me? Okay, hold on. So let me pull this up real quick. That come up? Okay. So this is the Chicago Teachers Union is going on strike because they don't want to go back to school because they're a bunch of cowards. 6 of our rank and file dance teachers came together to use their art form as a voice to express their desire to feel safe amidst CPS teacher return policy. They stand in solidarity with all educators at risk because no one should have to choose between life and livelihood. I swear to God, this is real. Watch this. What the fuck? Done. I will survive. Wait, is this not up? Is this not coming up? What happened to the fucking thing? Time out. Did that not come up? Where'd it go? I just had it on there. Can you guys see it now? What happens when I go like this? Does it disappear when I go full screen? Okay, I don't know why it disappears when I go full. Let me pull it up. I'll put it on Chrome. Maybe that's the problem. A different browser. Hold on. Time out.
I will survive.
There we go. Okay, here. Now we're going to watch it together. This will be fun.
I will survive. without you. Make it make sense. Safety is essential. Keep our students and our teachers.
This is real. This is not satire. This is actual real.
Safe. It's our livelihood versus our lives.
Our livelihood versus our lives. Oh, they're safe. How are they going to survive, guys? I mean, this is real. Like, this is... They thought this was a good idea.
Be safe. Safe. Children deserve to be safe.
Not satire. Again, real. Not embarrassed to do it. Like, everybody's laughing at it. And they still thought this would be a good idea. She's wearing a mask in her house.
To feel safe.
These are the people in charge of educating your children in Chicago. A city that has the murder capital of the fucking Northern Hemisphere.
Or no return.
Safe return or no return. Okie dokie. That is 100% insane. I tweeted out, I'm like, I'm embarrassed to be a former teacher when I saw that. That is embarrassing. They deserve nothing. These fucking cowards. They're so scared of a virus. They're like acting like they're going to fucking die. Imagine putting something like that out and being like, this is good. Oh yeah. People will feel bad for us when they see something like this. This got ratioed up the fucking ass harder than Constantino fingered his dead grandmother. That's how fucking hard this got ratioed. So anyway, anything else? I'm going on the Gerry show tomorrow, the Gerry Callahan podcast. I guarantee we'll be talking about this, Claire. So tune into Gerry tomorrow. You know what? Gerry doesn't want to live stream on Facebook anymore, so I'm going to live stream on this YouTube channel tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll get into that. I think you know my thoughts on that. I think it's pretty clear. But I think they should all be in. I think Manny Ramirez should be in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and especially 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. Why won't he live stream? So they want to, I don't know. They think that like advertisers pay more for downloads. So basically, if you live stream it, you're, less likely to listen to it. But I feel like, I don't know about you guys, like there's only a few hundred people that watch it when they stream it. And I don't know. I just feel like the people that watch it on Facebook Live aren't going to download it. Like you're not, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you guys just watch it because you're on Facebook and it's just on Facebook. So you just watch it. I feel like you're not the kind to, and it's fun. It's not, it's not nearly as fun, in my opinion, listening to a podcast later on that you can't live interact with. Like live aspects of streams it's the best part of it, is interacting with people in real life. Okay. Anything else? Does he want to call in? Should I let him call in? I bet you Brett will say no. If anybody wants to call in, boom. You got 1 minute to make your case. Man, it's been a long night. Okay. People are saying no, don't let him. Should I let him? Okay, vote 1 in the comments if I should let him on, 2 if I should not. 1 if I should let this whiny douchebag on the program for a minute, 2 if not. Go. One, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay. All right, one's winning. Okay, so Rebel City Sports, I'm going to need to show your face, please. I need you to wave for me. Okay. So how do I know you're not going to porn bomb me? How can I do this? Let's see. Hold on.
This dude's crazy.
Okay. So what's up? What you got? You there?
So yeah, I'm not gonna porn bomb you, dude.
Sorry, I don't trust you. I don't want to lose this. No offense, I just don't trust you. We can talk.
No, I understand that.
So what's up?
So yeah, why'd you block me on Facebook? I think people would like to know that.
You were boring me and annoying me.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other people who bore you and annoy you who you
not like you.
Block.
Oh yeah, I mean,
really. I mean, like, you know, weren't you the one sending me messages at like 11 p.m. or something the other night? And I didn't get back to you till like the morning because that's what people do when they don't care about messages.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know.
Anyway, I blocked you because you annoyed me. What's up? Is that all you got?
Right. So you blocked. So how am I working with 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃? Like, how is she brainwashing me? I'd like to know.
Well, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 shit all over you in a blog.
Yeah, but so did you. I can actually show that
blog,
like the whole video.
I didn't write a blog about you.
Well, no, the videos. What is it? Constant vagrant. Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't you telling me to like kill myself in them?
Probably.
Videos? Yeah, exactly. So like you're a conservative too, right?
Yes, I'm a conservative. That's correct.
Yeah. But you don't believe that Trump won the election?
No, because I'm in reality.
And you were like the first one to say like Trump lost. He lost. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he lost.
Why do you believe that?
Because the other guy got more votes.
Well, I mean, you don't think that Dominion really had a play in this?
No, I don't believe they did, which is why Dominion
really
is actually suing.
I thought you were a Tucker Carlson fan. And
Tucker Carlson
doesn't
believe that either. Tucker Carlson doesn't believe that either.
But he did bring Dominion up. He did talk about it.
No, Tucker Carlson actually did the opposite. Tucker Carlson actually called out Trump. No, Tucker Carlson called out Trump's attorneys for not having any evidence of Dominion fraud.
Right. So he never agreed that there could have been voting irregularities, and he never brought up Dominion.
No, he brought up the fact that some dead people voted and stuff like that, but there was not enough to overturn the election.
Have you seen like every single episode of Tucker Carlson? Like
yes.
You watch him like every night?
I watch it every night.
So I take it like he inspires you to do this.
Tucker Carlson is my hero. He inspires me very much so.
So he inspired you to write blogs about ratchets?
No.
Well,
you see, you're boring people, man. This is not.
That's not boring.
This is why you're not on. This is a boring conversation.
So if you don't agree and I'm hurting your brand, it's like boring.
You're not hurting my brand. This takes 2 minutes. Like people want you off. People are like voting. Give me a one.
Yeah, the same people who are saying that I, do terrible things to my dead grandmother. Okay, so those are good people, and you're a good person too.
Guys, give me a one.
But if people aren't
guys, give me a 1 if you think that he should stay on. Give me a 2 if you think I should drop him. Go ahead.
Oh, cowardice.
Let's see what people say. Let's see what the people say.
Such a cowardice thing to do.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing. Like, dude, you could have
a debate. Like, be a man about it. At least, like, I get us your channel and your show, but like, be a man about it, dude.
This is too. You're not even interesting though. Like, you're not
because you say so. I'm not really interesting, dude. I mean, come on. I'm the best rapper on the weekends. Like, come on, dude. I'm way more funnier than you. I'm way more handsome than you. Most of the girls on here love me as much as they say they hate me. Like, what is it about you, Aidan, that I'm not interesting, but yet you could come on my show the other night? What was so interesting about my show?
Oh, because basically everyone's making fun of you, so I figured I'd jump in.
Who's everyone?
There was like 7 or 8 turtle riders that are like Brittany and Amanda and Brett.
Your moderators?
Yeah, my mods. Come
on, man.
The turtle team.
Didn't Brittany just like send you like $15 on the super chat?
I think it was 10.
10? Yeah.
15? I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She has a job, so that's what happens when you have a job. You wouldn't know.
Right. I know. Like, this is your job. So what about 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃? Like, is that your job to cover that and talk shit about her kids?
I don't talk shit about her kids.
Ooh. Well, you said that they slept with each other. They did inappropriate things with each other. Well, you did.
That's what DCF said. DCF said that.
Yeah, but you covered the story on your own show. This is almost as bad. Like, that's almost like TMZ covering something like that.
Yeah.
Like, Lil Bow Wow, like, molested a dog or something.
Yeah, Kate allowed that to happen. Oh, by the way, Brittany just gave another 10. Thank you, Brittany.
Right, of course, $10. Okay, so
Thanks, Brittany.
how much? So how long have you been on YouTube for?
I've been on doing this show. I've been doing this show on YouTube for about a year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay, so a year and a half you've been on here, and I looked at your like oldest, and it seems like they're not really getting plays. Why is that? Like, I think that if you have like organic like fans, wouldn't they want to see your older videos?
I have no
because
idea.
you have like 89 views on one of your videos. Other videos you have like 100 something. But I mean, if they were like from 2 years ago, why aren't they getting any like?
You know more about Turtleboy than I do.
No, I don't. I know this isn't about Turtleboy. It's about analytics. Like,
this is so fucking boring, dude. You're fucking boring.
Right. I know. Well, welcome to my channel anytime, dude. And everyone else is welcome too, because it's like better news than this is. Nobody cares. So anyone is welcome. Subscribe, all there, whatever this dude says.
Go through old videos. I mean, this is like what this guy does. I mean, it's just he's so boring. That's what this kid doesn't understand. It's like if you were a Ratchet that came on here and like you talked shit and you were interesting and we could go at it like that, at least that would be good entertainment. Or if you were somebody you disagreed with on politics, you come on here. But like, what was that? What was that we just listened to? Like, that was, you're not a real conservative. Do you watch Tucker Carlson? Huh? You don't believe the election was rigged? Nope. Like, that's not interesting. Nobody wants to hear that. So that was the last time I'll ever have him on. I just brought him on to show how boring he is. Like, he's not interesting. And so he can go and jerk off to me and Brett on his own channel. And I'm sure Brittany and Amanda and Brett will be on there. And they'll be there to troll him. And it'll be all Turtle Riders. All 7 of them will be on there. So, all right, guys. You're banned. You guys were all de-wrenched last night because all the comments were eliminated. He had a meltdown. But, yeah, my analytics. Like, the guy, like, he goes through all my videos. How many views do you have here? I don't know. You tell me, buddy. You seem to know more about my product than I do. You're quite obsessed with me, my friend, and you've been here the entire time too. I got 2 hours of your life tonight, and I'm gonna get the 2 hours again on Thursday, and then again on Saturday. So, anyway, guys, I think we're gonna call it a night, and we will see you guys all for the next episode of the live show on Thursday. Peace, Turtle Riders.